in the championship sport, coming to you tonight from the beautiful Will Rogers Coliseum, right here in Fort Worth, Texas, where the West begins. All matches this evening sanctioned by the World Class Wrestling Association. And the opening event, beat the television champion. The purse tonight, $1,000. Challenger, first of all, from Portland, Oregon, 260 pounds, Matt Borne. May I have your attention, please? Bruiser Brody is the current television champion. However, he's unable to wrestle tonight. He's delegated from England, 237 pounds, as his representative, the gentleman, Chris Adams. Rick Hazard, your referee.
Wait a second. Chris Adams, I see you're dressed real properly tonight. You got your shoes tied properly. You've got your knee pads on properly. Well, let's see if you can get beat up properly.
An opening greeting from Matt Borne. Hi again, everybody. Mark Lawrence at ringside as we get started. Matt Borne and Chris Adams, TV title tonight. $6,000 at stake on this bout. Bruiser Brody, who was injured 2 weeks ago in the Blackjack Mulligan attack, has designated Chris Adams to take his place tonight with the new absentee clause with the world-class television title. Matt Borne, one of the many new sensational world-class newcomers, opens it up and immediately scores points with Chris Adams, who's thrown to the floor. Matt Borne right out after him. Here he comes. Look out. Adams on the floor, being driven into the table and then stomped across the head. Borne has him right out here by the ringside table. And they go to the other post, and it's Adams throwing Borne forward. We're rocking and rolling already tonight. And another great crowd coming in. Adams with a right. Chris Adams pounding the left side of the cheek of Matt Borne. And Adams returns the favor. Here we go again. Adams looking for him. He's got him. Here we go. Borne out here on the floor has a chair across the head. And Matt Borne has fallen right at the feet of two of Joe Ranelli's lovely Miss USA pageant girls. And they are not at all impressed. Matt Borne on the floor. Chris Adams has returned the favor. Rick Hazard tries to do the count on Borne, but Chris Adams is so anxious that he won't give Hazard the chance. Borne's got another chair. He throws it into the ring. Adams is ready to swing the chair, and that backs Borne out.
He can't do the ring right now. Okay, that's it.
Matt Borne and Chris Adams have all but torn up our equipment here at ringside. Listen to this mob roar with the count on Matt Borne, who finally steps back in. Adams very careful now with his opponent. We've got a couple of fine stars in the ring here for this TV title bout. Adams locks him up. I've got to cover some things before Gary Hart comes out for our first interview, but this bout is so excellent that it makes it difficult. Gary Hart will be out for our first interview following this bout. Abdullah the Butcher has been suspended. He is not in the building tonight. World-class championship wrestling has really put their foot down. You heard David Manning say last week that the Butcher and Gary Hart have each been fined $2,500. Now, Gary will have to pay all that. Here's Borne down. Count of two. Gary will have to pay all of that, so that's $5,000 out of Mr. Hart's pocket. World-class then went a step further, suspending Abdullah the Butcher until further notice. Bronco Lubitsch is out of service, injured. Also until further notice, he's got pipes as the count goes to 2. Bronco Lubitsch has broken ribs, an injured neck. He's wearing a neck brace. And we'll talk to Gary Hart now then about this Missy Hyatt situation. You heard me say last week that Sunshine was feeling very frustrated because she had signed numerous contracts for mud matches this summer. Down goes Adams over the knee, but had no response. Now we know why she had no response, and I'll explain in a minute. Adams pulls Matt Borne right back in the ring. Adams takes him over and down. 1, 2, and Adams sits up. Missy Hyatt's father put his foot down with his lovely young lady, feeling that she was degrading herself and the family name by taking the punishment that she was from Sunshine, from the fans, and has pulled her out of wrestling with World Class and has hired a professional hit woman to come in here and punish Sunshine, and has hired her to come in here and take care of business. Borne with a charge, but Adams out of the way. Adams takes him over the hip. 1, 2 by Rick Hazard, and that's all. This new hit woman is a lot of woman in terms of looks, physique, and experience. The only information I can get out of her is that her name is Raven. That's the only name she's giving us.
5 minutes, 5.
We will hear from Raven on a taped interview made from the studio coming later in tonight's world-class telecast here on Championship Sports. Now then, we've at least got some things taken care of. We've got a lot more to talk about, including this sensational TV title bout tonight as Borne picks Chris Adams up. Listen to the response from the crowd. There's a stomp by Matt Borne. During our TV main event tonight, I want to talk with you a little bit about pro wrestling in the 80s, how the business has changed, how and why World Class is on top of the heat in the most highly competitive pro sports anywhere in the world. I think you'll enjoy some of the things I have to talk about with you. High in the air, Chris Adams upside down with a suplex. Here's Matt Borne with the pin, 2. And again, 2 is as far as we go. Tonight, you folks in Sayre, Oklahoma, Woodward, Oklahoma, Gainesville, Texas, Broken Bow, Oklahoma, El Reno in Oklahoma, west of Oklahoma City, Waco, Kaufman, Pilot Point. World Class has big plans for you. World Class Championship Wrestling hits New Orleans, Louisiana with an extravaganza on Sunday night, June the 22nd, at the beautiful Riverfront Coliseum in New Orleans. World Class will be going to San Martin, the island, coming in June. World Class is emerging as the world's largest and most exciting pro wrestling organization. Adams keeping Borne down. Right side of the ring, he comes from the ropes, leaps across. Left side on the return. It's a knee by Matt Borne.
What do you think of that?
Matt Borne from Portland, Oregon. Better than 250 pounds. Comes from the ropes with a stomp. Everybody I have talked to, friends, fans, everyone has had a comment or a question about that attack from Abdullah the Butcher last week. We will talk to Gary Hart about the fines and the suspension coming up next. Matt Borne pounds that head into the mat. Boy, action is rough in our first bout. I'm glad to see these big crowds coming into Will Rogers every week. We had a tremendous crowd last week on our Memorial Day holiday card. And one nearly as big tonight is coming in. Chris Adams out to the floor again as Borne won't let him back. The Rodeo Arena in Mesquite, the site for world-class action. Sunday afternoon, a week from tomorrow. 1, 2. Buzz Sawyer will be here Monday night on another big Will Rogers Coliseum card. The U.S. Express is here tonight. They'll be in our television main event, and you will love them. I've got some exciting news about Reunion Arena, the 4th of July Firecracker Spectacular, Friday night, July the 4th. I'll talk about that card during our TV main event. I can already tell you that Monday night, when you're here in person, you can pick up tickets for the 4th of July Firecracker Spectacular. Same goes for you fans in person with us Friday night at the Sportatorium. Get those choice seats, boy, the first ones available to the public. If you can't be with us on Monday or Friday, stop by any Rainbow Ticketmaster outlet in all Sears stores and the other Rainbow locations for the best available seat at that time.
10 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 remaining.
5 minutes remaining in our time limit. There's a lift. Buck Zumhoff will be in action in our next bout. Buck rock and roll Zumhoff against Blackjack Mulligan. That should be a good bout. Chris Adams is thrown to the floor. Comes right back in. Borne does not know it and is drop kicked out over the rope. Here's Adams. Surprised him again with a drive and a big one to the chin. Slam on the cement floor. Holy cow. And the camera cable is wrapped around his neck. Rick Hazard's going to have to stop that. Boy, this Adams and Borne have obviously seen each other before. This is no first-time encounter. We already know that Chris Adams is one of the top 10 wrestlers in the world. The cable falls to the floor as Chris Adams locks him up, takes him over, and back down into the ring. Could be, might be, no. Borne now not nearly as cocky as he was when he made that opening announcement. And as he sits begging for mercy, Chris Adams lets him have a super kick. A headbutt. This should be it, but no, a foot over the rope saves Matt Borne, and that's the only thing that saved him. Matt Borne, a big, strong, talented, experienced individual from the Pacific Northwest. May not be out of this bout yet. 1, 2, not quite 3.
3 minutes remaining, only 3 minutes.
3 minutes remaining in our time limit for the TV title. $6,000 resting on the outcome of this all-important bout. Here's Chris Adams wrestling in the name of injured Bruiser Brody. Borne. A great move. Adams picked him up to turn him over, but Borne used his feet to knock himself away from the rope, using the rope as leverage, causing Chris Adams to land on his head. Both men slow to get back up as the seconds continue to tick here in our 15-minute time limit. High in the air, down with a slam.
Only 2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes remaining as Matt Borne comes across to the pin of 1, 2, and only 2. Big move by Matt Borne. Adams down flat. Count with Rick Hazard. Big six-man tape feature for you tonight. The one-man gang, Rick Rude, the Great Kabuki against Kevin Lance and Chris Adams. From here just a few weeks ago. Borne misses. Adams back to the splash. 1, 2, and not quite 3.
Only 1 minute remaining, 60 seconds.
We go to the wire for the TV title. Adams in trouble with Big Matt Borne, who wanted to know last week, who are you? Who are you fans? Who is Chris Adams? Who are the Von Erichs? He had no respect for anybody.
30 seconds, only half a minute remaining.
Joe Ranelli with the time call here. Here's Matt Borne back to the rope.
15 seconds.
Down he comes. Chris Adams out of the way. Adams had better hurry. 1, 2. Didn't quite get 3 there. 5 seconds remaining. And fans, this bout is over. The bell is sounded. They're still at it in a toe-to-toe battle. Both men a little weak. Rick Hazard pulls them apart. They go at it again. Rick Hazard shoved back. Matt Borne is working over Chris Adams. Rick Hazard has had enough. He backs him off. Here's Joe Ranelli trying to get a clarification, but Rick Hazard is having to keep these two apart, and he can't do it. A post-bout situation that is not at all pleasant. We've seen world class be assertive with a problem last week. They may have to do the same again this week. Rick Hazard urging them to stay apart.
Referee Rick Hazard calls it a time limit draw between Matt Borne and Chris Adams. Time limit draw. Adams keeps the belt.
The time limit draw will enable Chris Adams to keep the belt for Bruiser Brody. Down goes Borne. He missed with that big right. As we go off after this bout, whenever this is over, we've got a real treat for you. I want to identify this treat one by one. Adams ducking under, comes back with a drop kick, and Matt Borne will roll to the floor as Chris Adams begins to get the upper hand. Chris Adams retains the belt for Bruiser Brody. What a great way to start tonight's 2 hours of stuff. He's thrown the chair in the ring. Chris Adams.
Come on, Borne, you coward. Come on, get in. Come on. Let's fight. You want to fight? Let's fight.
Matt Borne jerked the chair away from the ringside area, came back, threw it in the ring. Now Chris Adams has grabbed it. Surely Borne won't come back. Adams has got that chair ready. Rick Hazard trying to pull him out. Boy, I'm glad we stayed here to show the girls, or we would have missed this.